What's good, Council of Comics? We're back with Andor, the final 2 episodes, number 11, number 12. Let's go. Yeah. Shout out to Madness. Yeah. Rogue Nation 845. Bro.
Good.
See, that he'll edit because...
Right.
All right, so let's talk about it. These are the last 2 episodes of Andor. Yeah. I will tell you right now, and I know we're going to hear a chime from the audience, but this is like number 2 on my Star Wars list. I thought about this in Mandalorian, and Mandalorian is just a little step above because it's brand new. Mm-hmm. It's all new stuff. But this series...
But Mandalorian does bring all the toys back.
Yes. But this series...
So does this, though. But...
This series is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And also, like...
Well, what's nice
there's
is...
just a lot. There's a lot I appreciate, but that doesn't mean that it's for everybody.
I mean, really, other than Andor, it's all new characters.
All new
characters.
Yeah. And so, you learn a lot of things...
Oh, and Mon.
That
She's
are,
right. You're right.
That
you're
are
right.
crucial to the Empire and the whole rebel struggle.
Correct.
Like, before, you didn't know... You knew there was a rebellion, but you didn't know who started it. You didn't know how it came to be. And this show...
I mean,
first
honestly,
season is laying that groundwork. Before
this show, I didn't even... Of course they get paid, but I never really thought about stormtroopers getting a monthly wage. And if you stole it, what would happen?
Yeah. And I that was one thing with the credits. I was just like, I thought they were all digital. So, you know what I mean? So I guess they don't keep track. It's like gold. You know what I mean? With the coins and stuff like that.
Yeah, but maybe that's the gold standard that it's based off of, whatever.
Right, and because obviously when Andor was on, the Miami planet, he's just like, no, I'm just going to the store. He's not carrying credits all over him.
Sure.
All right, so 11 starts off with Andor, and the guy he's with, I found out, he's in Rogue One.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so he's in Rogue One.
Is he on the base or something?
He's part of his team that he has. Bless you. He's running away. They're trying to get away. So they have some good scenes where they're hanging, and the guy can't hang on. He's like, just tell me.
They're leaving.
Tell me they're leaving. They're leaving. They're leaving.
That's so great.
They end up getting back to the Miami. Well, before they get back to the planet, they try to steal a ship from some 2 aliens that are down there.
Yeah, who kidnapped them.
Yeah.
And are like, oh, you're 1,000 credits apiece. You know that?
Yeah.
Oh, you're screwing over the Empire? I guess we'll help.
Right, you're screwing over the Empire.
Where did you want to go?
Yeah. It was just so silly because they're just making a run for the ship. And I'm like, these dudes are not that dumb. And they just throw up a force field. And they're like...
No, they basically Spider-Man them. They throw that...
Didn't they have a force field up though that detected
there might have been
that detected something?
There was a trigger.
Yeah,
but that's what it. So it detected them coming in, and then that's it. It signaled a trap.
And like they said, they find out they're against the Empire, and they're like, "We'll take you where you want to go," and he takes them to.
I just love that there's aliens who are like, "No, screw the Empire."
Yeah.
And that's another thing, right? We see Star Wars 99% of the time through a human lens. Even here in this show, we're still following humanoid people that look like humans.
Yeah.
Right? Mildly annoying. But I feel bad for people who have to be fully done in makeup. I just realized that about this show. There's not very many aliens.
Yeah.
In a universe full of aliens.
Yeah. And
all right, that's a small demerit for the show for me now.
We find out that MARVA is passed.
Yes. Oh my God, that's so great.
That's part of the big thing. That's the title of the episode is Daughter of Ferrix. Find out that she's passed.
And it's the daughters of Ferrix that arrange the funeral.
Her speech is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know it's the first thing they filmed?
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
that's a way to set the tone.
They filmed the funeral, and that was like one of the first things they filmed. But they told everyone, this is how it's gonna be. Because I don't want you guys to be lost because we're filming out of order. He says it breaks his heart when his actors are like, "Oh, I wish you had told me that before. I would have had a different vibe for X scene if I had known." So they all knew. Everyone knew everything before the order of filming.
Right.
So that they were prepared. And of course, Skarsgård there, which not important. Skarsgård, like it's such a powerful scene.
Well, that's the funeral scene.
That's the funeral
Well,
scene.
That's the next episode.
We skipped
that
way
way.
ahead.
That's that.
Oh my
right
god!
now-
Wait! Oh my god!
right
I
now
went too
they
far. I
just-
went too far.
Yeah, that's all right. Right now they just found out that she's dead,
And that's why he's going home.
And Andor ends up back on the Miami planet.
And they're like, well, don't do anything crazy. Just
They split up. They're better.
monitor her
Yeah.
that situation because he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
So if we just wait,
That's what the Empire's doing
right.
in this episode as well. They're planning on
And what's her name?
And
White
Bix-
Coat.
the White Coat. She's planning on intercepting him.
yes.
Yeah.
Then we find out Ginger Mustache decided to go with the plan and let it happen.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, because Ginger Mustache doesn't want any smoke on any heat on him.
Correct. But
Yeah.
but there was still some debate at the end of that episode whether he was really gonna.
But
Commit.
let's really be honest.
I don't think he had much choice. But
No, he had no choice in the matter because let's be honest. If they did warn that guy, and he was prepared for the Empire, or he did not show, the Empire would start running internal investigations, especially her, because she's so suspicious of everyone.
Yeah.
Hate that I can't remember anyone's
So
name.
they set that up. And then two other crucial things that happened in this episode. Mon Mothma has conversations with her sister.
Yep.
And she's basically said, like, I've made a terror.
It's her cousin.
that is her cousin.
Her cousin,
yeah.
her cousin.
She's like, something to the effect that I'm in it deep, man.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Which leads us to
Well, and she
believe
said-
that
and she
she's going
says-
to
Well, she says, "Tell me there's no betrothal."
tell me there's no proposal, right?
And she's just like, it's about to happen.
Yeah.
Well, and not only is it about to happen, my daughter's down for it.
Yeah. My daughter sought all of this out on her own.
Yeah.
So like,
And just to recap from the previous, she's gonna attempt to marry her daughter to the guy that she needs to help her with the banking stuff.
yes.
Which is wild based on what happens in the final
Yeah.
episode too.
Oh my
So-
gosh, she is such a
Pretty-
brilliant
pretty-
character.
We're gonna really devour that final episode. The other big thing that happened in this was Luthen goes to see Saw Gerrera.
Dude, yeah. You can do the conversation, but I want to talk about the escape
Yeah,
because the escape is badass.
they escape from.
from
When he's trying to leave, and
yeah,
the
and
Imperial
that
ship-
giant Imperial ship.
Oh
is
yeah,
there.
We'll get to that, but yeah.
Yeah. So he goes to see Saw Gerrera, and they have a phenomenal conversation.
He's like, "Would you warn me if it was me?" And he's like, "You're different." He goes, "Oh, because I have dirt on you.
Yeah.
So if I'm captured, I'm much more dangerous for you to lose.
Yeah.
So you would warn me." And he
Yeah.
goes, "So you have spies everywhere? Does that mean you have spies here? Who is the spy? Who's the spy?"
Do you have spies with me? Do
Which
you?
this
Oh, and then
dude-
and then he tries to make it look like that one of his guys is a spy. Remember?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, "Why did you tell me that?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I didn't tell you." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Luthen basically explains to him.
But Saw is so paranoid. As
He
it
tells.
is.
He
Well,
tells.
wouldn't you
yeah.
be?
He's
I
been
would be.
paranoid from the beginning.
No, but the thing is, on the events before we meet him in live action set him on this path.
Luthen then explains to him what's about to happen because Saw is ready to join the group that's going over into that battle. And Saw's like, I'm all in. I'm all in this. If he's ready to go, we can ready to go. And
And
Luthen's like,
"Hey, can we make that deal?"
Luthen's like,
right,
this is what's gonna happen. We're actually gonna let them go in and get slaughtered.
right.
And Saw's just like, this is unbelievable, blah blah blah.
And he's like, "What if I warn him?" He goes,
Yeah.
"You might warn him. I
Yeah.
don't know."
Yeah, and basically convinces Saw
To let it happen.
to let it happen. And that's it. They're cool. Then gets to Luthen trying to get away.
Which is,
Unbelievable.
I mean, you knew he had something up his sleeve, but,
No, but
but
listen.
not like this.
All right, can we just let the big cat out of the bag?
What?
That he uses kyber crystals on the ship to produce lightsabers.
Yeah.
That come out of the ship.
Before we even get to that, I mean, that's the moment.
They
That's
fooled
that's
us,
the
but-
chef's kiss
They
at the
fooled
end.
us
But
in the trailer because the trailer didn't have the laser things.
Yeah.
Right.
All
Well,
you
but
saw was the ship
Before
spinning.
that, he's powering up to break the tractor beam.
Yeah.
And he basically breaks the tractor beam.
Yeah.
Well, no, he
Sends the bomb thing.
Yeah, he's
back.
he's
Well,
it's
he's
a
pulling
miss-
away
yeah.
before that, and then he sends the bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were even bombs. They were like,
No, they're missiles.
Were they missiles?
Yeah, it just
I thought
it
they were
opens,
like
it
debris or
opens
something.
up
like-
like
that's
no,
why
they were
it-
missiles,
Okay.
and it just smacked up their giant tractor beam thing, and it shattered. And then they sent out all these TIE fighters from. I didn't even realize how massive their ship was until you see the TIE fighters coming out of that massive
Right.
ship, and his ship over here, and I'm like,
And
what?
you have never seen TIE fighters like you have seen in this show.
Yeah.
The TIE fighters, the way they look, scream, everything.
Well,
I
that's
think the
phenomenal.
look
Those are
is like standard, but like and the scream is the same. But I think the setting
It's the
is
way
what's
they
made
use it.
right, because I think like being an insect on the ground and having one of these things scream across the sky, you know, like actually puts some fear into you. Whereas before it's like, oh yeah, we're the good guys and the bad guys. We shoot each other.
Yeah. So Luthen gets away, and then they end the episode with Andor on the Miami planet. Him and the guy agree to split up because they have better chances to get back. And he calls home.
Oh, and we skipped the incel guy gets a phone call from the corporation guy at his mother's house, and it keeps cutting out on him.
Cyril, right?
Cyril,
Yep.
that's right.
Cyril. He's gonna play big in the next episode. Andor calls home. They tell him his mom dies. Sad moment. Every time this show ends, the music matches it perfect, and I'm just like, the music is like another character in this series because the music is phenomenal.
Like
in
the
this series.
music acts like it's its own narrator,
Yes,
right?
yes,
It's like oh my god, I can hear
You're
it.
playing. You're like, oh man, sun's coming.
Right, right.
But I mean, that's
It's
the
too
way.
quiet. Something
Yeah,
bad's about to
yeah.
happen.
But that's just good. That's just good soundtrack.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
really
it just.
is.
But when it's quiet, it's really important. It's not just that something bad's going to happen. It's also quiet because they want you to pay attention to every word.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
love that. I love that when it's just quiet, and you're so fixated on the characters and what they have to say. It's great.
Yeah. So that leads us into the final episode, episode 12. This is all about Andor coming back and the Empire setting him up to try to get him. And all the stories kind of converge, except for the Mon Mothma one. They all kind of converge to this one spot back on Ferrix. Now, let's get Mon Mothma out of the way. She goes through with it. And they have the daughter meet the boy
Correct.
in one of the traditional things. You're like, wow, this is
But
like...
that's not.
But the
even,
daughter's down for
Yeah.
it, so.
that's
Yeah.
not even the biggest part for me anyway of her story is the conversation she has
with her husband.
with her husband where she's like, you've
Yo.
been gambling again. He's
She
like, I don't know what you're talking about.
accuses him
Of gambling.
gambling just to put eyes on him.
And gives them a story why they've lost all that money.
Yeah.
Right, which is so brilliant because she knows they're listening. She knows the driver's listening. Her husband is so trusting. It's like, oh, put up the screen so we can have privacy. But she knows damn well there's no privacy.
Yeah.
You know, that dude is just listening to them. And then he reports everything to the Empire, just as she suspects. And like, oh, that would explain the discrepancies in their
Yeah.
funds.
Yeah.
Like, she is so brilliantly
Yeah.
written. It's so great.
Yeah. And she's just doing things like, and then when the daughter, when you see them do the tradition, you're just like, oh man, you really gave a lot for this rebellion.
No, she's giving so much. And like,
How much
and-
have you given?
and she's giving nearly everything.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? He's giving everything, and she is like right behind him,
Yeah.
right behind him.
Yeah.
And it's terrible, right? Because she really loves her daughter. It's very clear,
Yeah.
right? And like, I always, she's like this about her husband, right? But like, she definitely loves her daughter, and I'm like, oh, like this is
My
hard.
daughter's been a little, you know.
I know, but that's a kid, and it's her kid,
All right, so
and the daughter really loves the cousin. I mean, like, it's a whole
Yeah.
thing.
okay, so that story part is done. Now we're back on Ferrix, where everything is coming in. Cyril's there, Luthen's there.
Andor's
Cyril
there.
got a phone call from the guy that he was working with. They both got in trouble that first thing. And he was like, sir, you wanted to know if I had anything. And they figure out that he's having a funeral. So he's like, oh, we got to go there. So they go there. Luthen goes there because he wants to kill Andor.
Yep.
Oh,
that's right. I forgot the final scene.
yeah,
man.
he wants
Now it
to
reminds me.
he
Yeah.
wants to kill Andor. Bix is still there. That's something we didn't touch from 11. She's been tortured beyond.
Right.
The makeup phenomenal. Her acting phenomenal. She looks like someone who's really been tortured.
Yeah, she's basically.
Oh yeah, she looks like a. By the time we see her again, she looks like a POW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they start the funeral procession, which is beautiful.
Yep.
they just play the music, and the music is so simple,
Now,
but it's just beautiful. And they're just walking, and it's like a funeral.
but it's coming
procession.
down 2 streets.
Coming down 2 streets,
and
and they
you
did
notice-
it at a time that surprised the Empire.
Right,
The
they
Empire
did it
knew
too
they were going
early.
to do it, but they didn't think they were going to do it this early.
Well, right, but if you notice, there's 2 factions.
Mm-hmm.
Is the one faction's all the women of Ferrix, right?
Mm,
Is it
yeah.
the men and the women
the
split?
daughters of Ferrix,
Daughter
and then
of
it's
Ferrix.
just-
right? Because they're
then
her
all the work-
sisters,
And then
right?
all the workers, right?
Yeah.
And the other one? Okay.
And then the workers, you see every now and then a shot of a worker building a
Yeah.
bomb.
Well, you see that right at the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bomb, and she has an image, which I'm assuming is of someone she loves, that's pushing her to make this bomb. So they have the funeral procession. The Empire is like, "What's going
And
on?"
and her body has been put into a brick that's supposed to go
she's
into
a
the
brick
wall.
now. And they get all the way to the Andor, makes it to the planet. He hides out in a spot.
He finds a way to be
Yeah,
underground.
finds a way
Well,
to be
because he's looking for
underground.
Bix.
Yes.
Yeah. When they get to the end of the procession, they have the hologram come up of Marva,
Yep.
who gives a phenomenal speech, in my
Fight
opinion.
the Empire.
Yeah,
Fight
these
the Empire.
bastards.
Dude,
Burn
it's
it.
so great.
Yeah.
Burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
Yo, it is so great. And then, of course, all the Imperial guards are like
Freaking out.
freaking
Freaking
out,
out.
and I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And Andor's buddy that he had the fake drinking stories, kind of the
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
the
yeah.
first man through the door.
Yeah.
Right,
and
because-
you don't think he's gonna make it initially, because
Yeah,
he's right in
yeah,
the
yeah.
front lines, but he does.
yeah,
So-
and the other drinking buddy is acting as a spy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So
Although I do feel the events of the final episode changed him.
they clash,
But
and the bomb gets thrown.
right, but also her brick is an explosive.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
yes! I was
Yeah.
like, this is so great. I was
Yes.
like, of course she would want this.
Yeah.
Of course she would want her brick to explode on the Empire.
Yeah. It's a great episode.
And so right, the one explosion goes off because remember there's the one explosion, and everything goes into chaos, and then there's that other explosion. Her brick is the other
Okay, I don't think
explosion.
I caught that. Obviously, I didn't catch that. Okay.
No, because I mean, the camera is moving in a very panicked way, because ISB lady, she's out there in the pandemonium, and she's going to get killed.
Yeah.
She's gonna get stomped.
But who comes to save her?
Cyril.
Cyril saves her. And her reaction to her being saved.
You came.
She's just like, you're
She's
crazy
just like-
and
she's
I
like-
love you.
She's like, you're crazy. How could you?
I was just waiting for
and then
them
she's
to
like,
kiss.
oh, I'm waiting for the kiss because she's so angry with him, and then she's like, thank you for saving me.
No, she's like, I should thank you right now. Like,
Yeah.
she couldn't even bring herself to say thank you. And he's all calm, like, it's not this.
This is what I do.
It's not what I do.
They are the most odd characters, and the fact that like I feel like they're gonna be romantically linked, and I'm just like, well, they could, but I want to understand them, but
She's gonna bring him into the Empire. He's gonna become a part of the Empire.
You know what's funny?
I don't think she has any interest in him that way, but I think maybe he does for her a little bit.
Oh, this changes everything.
Whatever happened
She's
here.
got something connected with him now.
Also,
She owes it more.
I am fascinated by the idea that what if the two of them eventually turn against the Empire? What if they get or worse, she's the one who's like, oh my god, what have I been doing? Like, what have I really been doing? Right? Unless she's so afraid of Emperor Palpatine.
What if she's Cassian's sister?
Oh my god, that's like right. That's like
Holy
undeveloped.
crap, that's right. We've been looking for her the whole time.
Yeah,
That's just speculation.
that would be,
Alright,
but that would be
So,
wild.
so Andor, during all this commotion, his drinking buddy saves the guy who
Gets Bix.
throws the bomb. He goes and gets Bix. They escape.
the what's her name from the Sisters of Ferrix is escapes with them.
Yeah, escapes with
And,
them. He gets them to have to a ship, which B gets saved as well, the little robot, and he gets them in the ship. And he basically, you think he's going with them, but he sends them away.
He's
And
like, you can do this without me.
Yeah, and they're like, he'll find us, and he's kind of like,
I'll find you.
yeah.
She says.
She says he'll find us, but
Bix says
he
that.
kind of gives that look like, okay, yeah.
Well,
yeah, I'll find it.
he's like,
Yeah.
They're all no.
But that's all
The-
contingent
the-
on what's gonna happen
The
at the
buddy
end.
says, yeah, and kind of gives him like, yeah, you're gonna find us, but then Bix is like, no, they'll find us.
Yeah. So the episode ends and the season ends with Andor going back to Luthen's ship because Luthen, his plot to kill him is all awry because of the bomb.
Oh, I want to call it.
His bike is amazing.
Yes.
Luthen's bike is. Well, yeah, of course. He's got everything.
He's got all the toys.
But wait, can I just say how exciting? So Luthen sees Marva's speech,
Yeah.
right? And the look on his face, right? Like, you know,
Look where we started. Basically.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, this is
it.
like it's happening. Like I didn't orchestrate this. I didn't do this. This is happening.
Which could lead to one probably help his decision later because Andor goes to the ship.
Yep.
Andor basically says,
I'm in or I'm out.
"Kill me now."
Yeah.
Or make me
in.
a part of this. Take me
Yeah.
in. And Luthen is just like,
Huh? And he puts the gun down.
and he's like,
You never
all
make
right.
it easy, do you?
Yeah, he's like, but I'm thinking, he knows that's Marva's son.
Yep.
She just did this.
And he saw it.
And
you
he's
know?
just like, okay, you have a bigger importance in this.
Well,
than
but
anything.
remember, the first time they meet, he's very much
Yeah.
trying to convince him to be all the way in.
Yeah,
And now
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, okay, now you really are.
Yeah.
And I don't, maybe now you're not a loose end.
Yeah. And so, episode ends. Andor goes with Luthen. Post-credit scene. We see what they were building in the prison.
I called
it.
it.
Has little pieces that go into the saddle, the disc part of the Death Star. And I've never seen a Death Star look so amazing in my life.
And it's robots putting it together in space. Yeah,
yeah.
it's wild.
Well, of course, robots put it together in space
Well,
because
they could have,
I think the
astronaut
interior.
suits, but
I think they have people working on the interior.
No, I'm just saying they could have people in spacesuits, but it totally makes sense that the Empire would use droids.
They have
to do
very
it.
sophisticated droids. I'm
Oh,
like, why
absolutely.
wouldn't they, right?
And droids don't get tired.
That's right.
So,
And you don't have to feed droids.
Yep.
I'm giving this show a 9.5.
Yeah.
I don't think it's perfect for a 10, but it's damn near close.
I don't know
to
what
perfect.
I don't know what a 10 is anymore.
Yeah, 9. This is that 9.8. Let's do it grading style.
Oh my
This
God.
is a 9.8. White pages.
Well, clearly white pages.
What do you think, Cliff?
9.4.
9.4. Respectable. Respectable.
Well, right, because I loved all of it. I love all of it. But like, there's like little things. So like, like I'm sorry I took off for the little things, but like whatever.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'll give it a 9.6. It's got some
9.6?
spine ticks, but it's signature series, so
Yeah,
it's got
All right, so we got a
Great upset.
9.8, a 9.6, and a 9.4. What do you guys think? Did you like Andor? Did you love Andor? Did you hate Andor?
Do you need to watch Andor now that we've talked about it for so many weeks?
Definitely. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think of the show. Did you go back and watch it because of us?
I'll
You know what
watch.
I mean?
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah, I definitely gotta watch it again. I'm also watching it right now. So, and
Finally on board.
she's loving it right now. So yeah, leave a comment below. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for future reviews on other shows that are coming out. We will have you covered. This is our Andor Season 1 end review. Check the playlist for episodes 1 through 10, and then this episode 11 and 12. Steve will be watching all of them because he loves Star Wars and Andor. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Peace. Yeah. Shout out to Madness. Yeah. Rogue Nation 845.